that sharing.
Yeah, good evening to all of you. Welcome to the third webinar in the Thursday webinar series organized by IEEE Malabar subsection and IEEE Malabar Hub. This week we are focusing on women in engineering and science. We have very good two eminent speakers signed up for delivering the webinar on today. This week's topic. And as you know, IEEE is giving very prominent, importance for women, especially for the women who are in engineering as well as in the science disciplines. So in the past also, in the recent past also, Malabar subsection has organized many programs focusing on women. We had a one-day workshop, BGB, Beyond Glass Barriers 2019, and it was attended by more than 120 participants all over Kerala. So we will be having many such programs focused on the women in the coming weeks also. So I am handing over to Taslima, Dr. Taslima, Assistant Professor from Central University of Kerala, Kasaragod, for moderating this webinar as well as for introducing the speakers. So I hope this will be a very fruitful webinar for all of you. Wishing the very best to all of you. Over to Dr. Taslima. Thank you. Taslima. Taslima, can you hear us? Sabik?
Yeah.
Taslima is online, isn't it?
Yeah, she's there.
Hello.
Yeah, Taslima.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. A very good evening to one and all joined here for this webinar series. And this is the program that is in IEEE Malabar subsection in collaboration with Antin and IEEE Malabar Hub. And we are conducting this webinar series, and this is our third program. And the topic is on creative women of COVID times. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce the two eminent personalities, those who joined here with us for this third day of our webinar series. I will be starting with Dr. Anu Marie Chacko. Currently, Madam working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering of the National Institute of Technology, Calicut. Prior to joining this NITC, she was working in Tata Consultancy Service for 5 years. She has received her PhD for the thesis entitled Automatic Provenance for Big Data Applications from NIT Calicut. She has authored 2 journal papers, 1 book chapter, and more than 20 international conference papers. Her research interests are big data analytics and security. She has given invited talks in a short-term course in GEC Trichy and FTP in NIT Calicut. She has chaired a session in IEEE Spices 2015 and has been a part of the organizing team for ISB 2010 and 2011. She's a member of ECM, IEEE and IEEE Computer Society. She co-chaired the CHIN workshop in ECM ISDC in 2019 held at IIC Bangalore and is a chair for the health informatics track of ACM SAC 2019 and SAC 2020. She is an active member of ACM and IEEE. And now speaking about Miss Preeti, she is the Chief Executive Officer of the Technology Business Incubator of National Institute of Technology, Calicut. Being in an entrepreneurship development field for the past 19 years, she has guided many startups. Having started her career with the Entrepreneurship Development Cell of REC Calicut in 2001, she was part of the team prepared and presented the proposal for setting up of TBI in NIT Calicut in 2003. She served as the manager of the TBI NITC for 15 years before before starting her current role of CEO. The TBA has extended incubation facility to 74 startup companies so far. The support has been extended to units in different sectors like software, IT, electronics, IoT, rubber technology, etc. The units incubated in the TBA generate employment opportunities for around 1,000 people. TBA can claim 70% success if the sustenance of the incubated unit is considered. Many of the incubated companies have attained remarkable growth. And for today's, that is, we are blessed with these two eminent personalities for today's talk. I welcome Madam for the session, and I'm welcoming all the participants for today's session. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, Anu, you may please start. Your mic is off.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Taslima, for the very kind introduction. So it is a pleasure for me to be here and to talk to you, something that is not at all technical. So what we are going to listen to, something that is quite personal, and it is a bit strange to talk on a webinar because we are more used to talking when all the people, we have our audience straight in front of us. We usually are very comfortable talking to their eyes. So today, I hope that what I'm going to share to you is a very quite personal learning that I had. So what I have titled is Lessons that I have learned during the Corona times or the COVID times. And let me start with a disclaimer, right? The opinions present in the presentation is completely based on my perception and my thoughts during this period of time. I hope that it will help at least some of you. And I would really love to hear what your thoughts during this period are. But as I have the privilege to speak first, let me just present my presentation. Okay. So in order to keep this session interactive, we've just thought of using a tool called menti.com. So I'll request all of you to open your browser and log into menti.com, www.menti.com. So please, if you're using a laptop, you can use your mobile phone and log into www.menti.com. There they will ask you for a code. Please enter 62746. So we will just, so I request if you're using you don't have two machines, so you can just use an alternate browser window. Any Chrome, you can open a browser and log into www.menti.com. And that will be the tool that we will be using throughout this presentation to have an interaction, to keep our session lively. So I request all participants to log into www.menti.com and give the code 62746. So the first question that we before, and as an icebreaker for the session is to describe how you felt during this COVID-19 lockdown period. Maybe you can, I've given an option of one or two words. You can write the 2 words that will show what is your experience and just submit it. I request participants to please log into menti.com and use the code 62746. Right? www.menti.com. So we have our first response. It's saying bit boring and interesting. So that's a very, very wonderful combination, boring and interesting at the same time. So we have people who are stressed and relaxed. Everybody had contradictory emotions. Great. Let's hear from more people. Okay, anxious, terrible, right? I hope more responses are coming in. Let's hear from, we have around 76 participants on board. Let's see how people are like, what were your feelings before I start speaking about what my feelings were and what I learned and what I have tried to practice. Okay, so the ones that are coming bigger are the common emotions. So I see that more people felt relaxed, That is good. It was a time of relaxation from the hurry-burry of running from one place to another. We were literally made to sit in our house for around a period of 3 weeks. And for some of us, it's still going on, though it's work from home. We are tied to home. So we had happy people, creatively developed, online class, safe, boring, escape from the busy world. Yeah, I do agree. Like first it was challenging. Like you are so used to be busy. Suddenly you are asked to be tied to a place. So I request the other participants also to log into menti.com because we have a fun quiz also coming in. So this is just an icebreaker and just for you to get into menti.com. So let me go into the next slide, right? So more workload, experimentation time. Yeah, I was seeing in the YouTube and all, people started developing Chakukuru shake and a lot of nice innovative recipes. People started new vlogs and a lot of things happened. And everybody was trying for a good change, right? So for me, in the beginning, it was a little challenging. I'll say like when I heard about Corona, so apart from my professional part, I am a mother of 3 kids and my husband is a doctor. So when we heard about this Corona COVID season, I had my sense of anxiety. Then suddenly when the lockdown came in, we had a feeling that this will help to control this season. So suddenly, but then the drastic change that came was my support systems like my maid and all those people were not there. So initially, like, oh, this is an opportunity. But then later, the stress and anxiety started creeping in because the bad news were coming one after the another. And exactly like, it was a confusing time for me. One side, I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to change the person I am, like do different things, which I have not been able to do for quite a long time. But then I had the other things that I want to do and I'm not finding time for. So when I think of like, I spent some time in industry and now I am in the academia, I was thinking like whether it is different for both of it, right? So my focus is primarily on women because our talk is for women. So for us, I think like, initially lockdown, some of us didn't have to work during that time. Then it turned into work from home. So essentially we had no travel. So that saved a lot of time, energy, right? And then, but again, when you're working from home, I found it difficult to let my family know that I am working from home and I'm not actually doing, I just was not able to segregate things at first especially because my support systems were not there. Then I think it was true for both women in the academia and the industry, where I think one of the major support system we have is the child support that we get in school or crashes, which was not there. So the children are there who wants to be entertained, then their demands for food. So working from home and working at home was getting mixed up. Then again, there's a lot of cost cuts that are coming from in the government and in the industry because of this sudden pandemic. So there is a lot of threat of unemployment. There are salary cuts that are going to come. So that shows that gives like both for academia and for industry, the future looks a little bleak now. For those who are in the academia, suddenly we actually had to stop in between a semester. For those people who are students yet, their semester was cut in the beginning and the end, in the middle, and now we have a requirement of going for a different style of learning, a different style of assessment, things which are not very familiar for us. So there is a new learning that has to happen. And most of it, I learned the inadequacy of our internet bandwidth solutions. Currently, I have my 3 kids have online classes going, then that means that I don't have the net for my meeting. So just to sum up, whether you are in the academia or in the industry, you are a student or you are professional or you're married or you're single, whatever it is, this period has been an unprecedented times. It has brought in a lot of conflicts in our life because we don't know, we don't have a previous experience to think like how to handle it. Neither do we have our parents, neither have our parents gone through such a season. We don't have an end date for such a season. Then as we are going through this, conflicting emotions are bringing a lot of struggles. And certainly I think this, like in the beginning of 2020, you might have a lot of travel plans, you had a lot of ambitions, but now what you have is there's a lot of uncertainty before it. And that is exactly where, as women, we have to bring our next self into it. So there is a time for us to feel all those things. This is our natural self. But now in the COVID season, as we are into a season, the inbuilt, the inside our hearts, there is a creative woman. And it is time for the creative woman to step in and deal the situation face to face. So one thing I've realized in life is, like, whenever I face very adverse situations, very difficult situations, there is this time when I am suddenly stunned. I don't know what exactly to do. And then there is this time, then I have to start. There is no point where I get ready and then I continue, right? So there is, I have to, like, there is no position where you're trained for the situation and then you can start. So you just have to start. You just have to put that first leg of positivity and then start your journey and decide that I'm not going to be bound by my situation. I'm going to go beyond my situation. And that is when you start the move. So this is a mantra that I have, that I believe that, when your happiness is not something that is, that you can wait for it to come. It's a feeling that will creep into. It is a choice that we have to make. When you don't have happiness in front of you, you'll have to pursue it. You have to have a conscious choice, and we have to search for it, and we can find it, we can choose it. So when you have this challenging time and there are a lot of things to do, one thing I was really thinking about is how I can be productive. So one of the major challenges that I had was I usually had a lot of, I had my college life prioritized, my work life prioritized. So ever since I joined my college, I started working. So I had a domestic help at my house, helping me with house activities. Then I have my structured life. There is a routine which is suddenly changing. So I have a 9 to 6 job at college, come back, then I have my family life, which I balance. So suddenly now I have to rearrange everything. So at that time, if I have to be productive, it cannot happen in such a messy situation. So during this time, one thing I really realized is I have to work to maximize my productivity. So as Paul J. Meyer says, productivity is never an accident. It is actually a commitment. It is a planned effort and consistent effort that will bring productivity in your life. So so why do we have to be productive? Why can't we just keep lazing around? Because that is not possible. Your time is limited. This is an opportunity for you to jump into your next level. So this level we as women, as professionals or as students, this is an opportunity. This is a season that has been given in your life. This looks like an adversity, but you can convert it into a boon by maximizing what you can do in your season. So the major agenda of my talk today is some practical tips of how to do it, right? How to actually face the situation. So 4 thoughts that I had while I was thinking for what to talk today was, the first was how to maximize your productivity in your day. First is scheduling your day. Second, balancing your roles. Then making a conscious choice to tend yourself, and availing all supports that are available. So these things are all mixed up. So I just tried to put it as 4 different points, but these all go together. So let's start from scheduling your day. So suddenly your original schedule, actually what has happened with COVID is your life has been overturned. So whatever you were trying, you're planning, so many things has changed. For me, in April, I had a conference to attend. So I had a nice travel planned, and there was a vacation also planned along with that. That is gone. So there are a lot of plans, goals that I have set that has whole changed. now it is a time for me to realign, think again, and know that the season has changed and create a new set of goals. So when you want to schedule your day, first thing you have to do is you want to know what is exactly what you want to achieve in life. So there is this professional part of you, there is this personal part of you. And you cannot, it is for me, I think it's a very difficult challenge. Like, though the picture is showing the person perfectly balancing it, to balance is a very difficult task. But if you are very purposeful in that, you can still strive in that. So one thing that helps me in doing that is setting up some goals. That is, this smart way of setting goals is something we all are very familiar. We hear it from classes to motivation conference, but I really think it is very helpful. That is, having some specific goals, right? So don't have goals like, during this period, I am going to improve my technical knowledge. So what is that technical knowledge you are going to? So when you do that, set your goals as something that is measurable and know your limitations during this period. Know what all are the things and set something that is attainable and strive to attain it. It's going to take an extra push that is attainable, and your goal should be relevant for this period of time. And I always believe in setting up short time goals. And when you are actually setting up your goals, one thing you have to remember is, while we are professionals and we have a personal life, there is a very, other than these two roles, these roles are further divided into many, many sub-roles in our life. So if you're thinking about your professional role, so I, as a faculty in NIT Calicut, I'm a faculty teaching a course. So I am a facilitator of a course. Second, I have a role as a faculty advisor. So I have some students whose emotional health and how they're learning, I have a responsibility towards them. Then again, I have some administrative responsibility. So there are different roles in the professional life. Or in my home, I again have different roles. Like, I am a homemaker. I have to make sure my home is run well. Then I am a mother, I am a wife, and there are different roles. Like, as we see in this picture, I wish we had so many hands like an octopus to handle all our roles effectively. So what I believe is, like, though we cannot do justice, like, we cannot, I don't know how, I think time might teach me how to excel in every role. But now what I try to do is, I try to find out what are the roles that are most important for me at this period of time. And I set up the goals specific to that roles. So now that we are sitting at home or working from home, you cannot actually push your professional completely and say, I'm not going to look into my personal life. So if you're a student and you're at home, maybe your family expects you to put some help inside the home. There are things that you will have to do so that the situation around you is really happy. So you'll have to think like, how I will balance my roles, and now go back, set up, look for those specific roles and find out one thing you want to do, one goal you want to achieve in that specific role, right? And then once you have the goal set up, then you have an idea on how to schedule your time. Right? So these are the things. So once you do that, that, like, otherwise it's all mixed up. I know I have to take care of the children. I have to do this office work. I have to do the other thing. And there are 101 things. And you will not be able to declutter what is important, what is urgent, what is most relevant for me and to do, right? So while we are trying to maximize our productivity, while we are trying to do the best we have for all our roles, this is all possible only if the creative woman in us is keeping herself healthy and happy. So you have to choose, whatever be it, is it the most busy season of your life, you have to choose to tend yourself. You as a woman, you have to choose to take care of yourself while you take care of the other responsibilities that you have. So it is very important that we focus on our mental health and physical health. During this season, what has happened is, like, the media and the social media has all covered with a lot of negative news. This feeding yourself with a lot of negative news will actually bring your spirits a lot down. And I feel that, you know, you lose your zeal to work. So what is important here is like we choose our thoughts. We have to be careful in what we are feeding in, and we have to decide, like, you know, how we are, what we want to be, and focus on that. Along with physical health, mental health, another thing is physical health. I really believe, like, it really helped me to take 1 hour out of time to just to have a walk. Set a pedometer and say that you're going to do 10,000 steps a day. Divide it into many times, because you might not find 1 hour time morning. So do it some in the morning, so some in the evenings. And when you do exercise, what happens is endorphins are produced and you are more healthy and happy to do the rest of your work. So you have to choose to relax, and this brings in the time for your creativity to further blossom, right? You have the time, like your thoughts to work, and you get more ideas when you are in a better health. So to take a break, I have been talking for quite some time. So I thought, like, let's have a small game. So back to menti.com. But this time what we are doing is we are going to do a quiz. So great. So this time people are ready. Please enter your names in the Mentimeters, in the space that is given. So I'm waiting for players. So we have 10 people who have logged in. Just let's give a couple of minutes for others to come in. So there are going to be 5 questions in this quiz. So once the questions are really simple. So you can answer, it's going to be multiple choice questions, only one correct answer. The highest point is given to the one who is fastest. So let's see, smart young ladies, let's see who is going to win. So request you to join menti.com quick. So we have to start the quiz in another 2 minutes. So I have 15 participants in menti.com. Right, now it's 16. We'll just take another 1 minute. We'll just wait for 1 more minute for people to join it. Log into menti.com and enter the code 62746. Menti.com 62746. Right. So we'll just take another 15 seconds. So there is no 0 points for wrong answer, but the key is the fastest, right? So we have very nice, so I have 28 people on board. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Let's wait for 30 more seconds, right? So just to recap of what we were saying, like, you know, what I was trying to speak today was how the corona season was for me as a person. So I was telling you, like, initially it was, I took it as a challenge. In between, I got really challenged. And then I thought I have to be purposeful. So I've been sharing with you the few tips that help me to make my life better or help it going on, right? So let's start the quiz. So we have 33 people on board and I am starting the quiz. So please look on your screens. Answer fast to get points. And the first question is on your screen. Why is COVID-19 called COVID-19? Because it is made of 19 different molecules, or because it is the 19th coronavirus, or because it first appeared in the year 2019. So voting finishes in another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So let's see what's the answer that has come. So 27 people have said it right. It is because it is appeared first in the year 2019. So let's see who is the fastest today. So leaderboard shows that among our different participants, we have Danya Esla leading, just behind her Ashwarya, followed Akina and Aparna. So we have 4 more questions. So get your hands on the mobile. The next question coming on your screen. The next question is, COVID-19 is not the first widespread coronavirus encountered by humans, but which of these is not a type of coronavirus? The options are MERS, the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome virus, severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS virus, or Ebola? The voting closes in 3, 2, and 1 second. Let's see what's the answer. So the right answer is Ebola. So we have MERS, SARS, and corona are all type of COVID viruses itself, coronavirus. But Ebola is a different type which originated in Africa. Let's see like who is reading the leaderboard this time. So let's see, is there any difference? Yes, I think Danya didn't get the answer right at this time. So we are going to see quite some change in our leaderboard. So we have Paurnami leading, followed by Shruti K and Jasmine KM, Parvati and Shabira following behind. So let's see who is going to, who is going to lead. So 2 questions over, another 3 coming. So the next question onto your screen. On which date did the government of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi order a nationwide lockdown for 21 days? So do you remember that day when the life was changed? Was it March 23rd, March 24th, or March 25th? So the voting closes in 3, 2, 1 second. Let's see how people are doing. So the time is up. So the right answer is March 24th. And we have, so it was declared on March 23rd night, but it started from March 24th. So we have, let's see how the leaderboard is looking now. So we have, so again, we have drastic changes in our leaderboard. So we have Akash Raju, Solomon, and Sabik coming in the top. Okay, so don't worry, ladies, we have 2 more questions coming in. So let the fastest win. The next question on your screen, keep your hands ready to tap. When experts talk about flattening the curve, what does that mean? It is an axiom that means follow the evidence rather than trust appearances. It means to slow the spread of the virus to reduce the peak number of cases and related demands on hospitals and infrastructure. And I don't have time to read the third option, but I'm sure you have read it on your mobile. Right, excellent. So we have 17 people who really know what the flattening of the curve means, right? So it is basically not trying to, it's trying to control the spread so that we have sufficient hospital infrastructure. So what we have seen in Italy and other countries is that the disease just peaked and the hospital or the healthcare infrastructure was not sufficient to take care of it, and there were massive deaths. Thanks to our government's good measures, Kerala is still doing good. So we are coming to the leaderboard, and let's see who was the fastest this time. So this was quite some reading to do. So we have again some changes, and we have Akash Raju still leading, Surfina Shafiq and Shruti following, Jasmine and Sadiq in the 4th and 5th position. So the last question for the day is, which is correct to say? The yolk of the egg are white or the yolk of the egg is white? Which is correct to say? The yolk of the egg are white or the yolk of the egg is white? First statement or the second statement, or both the statements are right or none of the statements. So the voting closes in another 3, 2, 1 seconds. The time is up and everyone has voted. So this was a tricky question, and the question's answer is the yolk of the egg is never white, it is only yellow. So just to catch those people who are very observant. So we have only 3 people managed to answer this question. The yolk of the egg is always yellow. After this webinar, I will recommend you to go and break an egg and check it out. So our leaderboard for today, and let's see who is the winner for the day. Right, so we have Parvati, Vinisha and Rajalakshmi who answered it right. So, right, but I think the overall points. So we have the winner as Akash Raju, congratulations. So in this webinar, let's give him a virtual clap. Okay, so I think it was lightening our moments. So see, like, these are some fun activities, like, in between your mundane activities, take some time out and take a break. Okay. So I think my time is almost getting over. So let me just quickly go through my last point, which is very crucial. That is availing of supports that are available. What is actually being said is to be, when we say the word socially distanced, actually what is not, what is actually, I think the more apt word for it is being physically distant, keeping the physical distance. This is a time where the technology has grown so much that we can be socially close with people. And this is a time when we need to really get connected, because as human beings, we need each other's support. So take time to support others and take support from people. When you have a problem, be open about it. When you have a distress, you are finding it difficult to go on, be open about it. Talk about it and take the support or therapy or any sort of help that you need, right? To go get back into shape. The truth is that we all go through difficult situations and we all have made it. So we have a lot of lessons within ourselves, which we can share. So it's very important for us ladies to work together. So this is a time for, again, like, using technology for our means, right? We have a lot of like what I was saying, socially connecting, Zoom. We can have some virtual meetings. I see a lot of friends getting together in Zoom. Or you can find out, like, this is a time when I have touched base with all my old school friends, and it gives me a lot of joy and a relaxation to think about like those times and to touch base with them. And again, use this time, technology, to upgrade yourself, to get ready for the next season. That is again one thing that we can do during this season, right? So let me conclude my talk by reminding you one thing, like, this too shall pass. That this season will surely pass. God willing, it will pass very soon, right? So when you see things are bad, remember that it won't be there always. Whatever be the adversity in your life, whatever be the tough situations in your life, remember that this will also pass. And there is a new season that is awaiting for us. So let's, as women who are working professionals, students, let's get our creative selves out and make the maximum out of this season. Make the maximum during this time. Utilize our times to the best. Make the choice of being happy and make the choice of maximizing our productivity so that we are able to do those things that we are striving for. So thanks everyone for your patient hearing. So I think I'll hand over the session back to the moderator. Thank you very much.
Hello, Priti ma'am.
Hello.
Oh yeah, you can start.
Yeah, very good evening to all of you. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a real wonderful talk from Anu. Like, we are all, feeling so fresh with the game and all those things. So thanks, Anu, for giving me a very good, vibrant audience, because you must have been playing with Anu till now, and it would have been a real good experience for you. Now, I think I am talking a little on the other side of what Anu told. Yeah, just trying to bring your attention to a little towards the business, innovation, and all those kind of things. So let me just start with my presentation. So yeah, creative women of COVID times. Of course, this is, I'm not talking only about women, but of course, slightly towards women specific, but definitely others also can take a bit clue from all these things. Of course, it was a real dreadful time for all of us. We were, for the past 3 months, restricted ourselves in the premises of our house, and of course, in the initial times, we did all the experiments in cooking, maybe cleaning, maybe all creative things. But slowly we started getting bored and anxious, as Anu was mentioning. because we have a dreadful disease around us. You don't know if it is going to be you, the next person. And when you go through the videos or the descriptions of what affected people were sharing in the social media, it is really a dreadful situation. You know, people going into coma and coming back from that, and you know, in TEDx and all, we can listen to those kind of videos. So you know, because of that, we understand that there is a disease around us with no cure or no vaccine. Of course, people say that there is some vaccine coming, and around the corner there is something there. You don't know, but when you're going to have it. But because of all these things, we see that the world has totally changed. You know, it was not the same thing which we were having 3 months before. So, what are the kinds of changes that we had for women? It was really a you know, different kind of situation. Of course, men also were at home only, but women, as Anu was pointing out, we have a lot of not many different roles to you know, to do. But we have been we can understand that now we have been depending a lot more on the technology side. Many of us have used so many new things. Of course, frankly, I was not using Zoom for many of the meetings till the lockdown was there. But it is now a part of our life and part of our official duties to attend the meeting online, virtual meetings. Earlier, we had just very few meetings online. Otherwise, we used to go for the meetings. We used to travel a lot. We used to enjoy our travel and all. But with all these lockdown and the corona and all, we had a lot of restrictions. But you know, there was a huge change that happened, and definitely the crisis, which what we have now, was the accelerator of all these changes. But it was, in fact, a little more challenging also for us, because when you use the technology or new kind of things, we are trying to learn the new things, and with that, the associated difficulties are there. As we know, human beings are always resistant to changes. So, you know, trying to learn a new thing and the associated problems. Of course, people of our generation might be okay with the change and technology change and learning new things and all. Maybe our earlier generation, especially when you say people more than 60 years are not supposed to go out, and of course, with the same case with the children under 10 also, they find it slightly difficult. Of course, maybe children, definitely they learn technologies more fast. My kids are more faster than with the mobile and other softwares and other laptop and all than me, of course. But our earlier generation find it a lot difficult. And even when you're using the technology itself, as Anu was pointing out, the bandwidth, the gadgets that you need to have, the bandwidth as well as the gadgets you've got to share with other people at your home or other people around. And there are a lot of problems. You know, you have to have power all the time for working from home, and managing and assessing the work, along with managing our people, you know, our team members. You got to manage that also, sitting in a distant place. So all these associated difficulties are there, along with the technology and along with the lockdown and along with the privilege of sitting at our home. We do have all these problems. And now, you know, when you're so much used to this technology and new technologies and all, you feel that you're using too many apps and too many things, and hence a lot of data creation is going in the background. We all must have downloaded this Arogya Setu, and we've given a lot of data, and the question of privacy, personal privacy, is a different thing, and which is, you know, a debatable thing, and the debates are going on. But still, from the business perspective, for many companies and for many, of course, for the government also, you have a huge pile of data which has gone into all these apps and all this, you know, other information which you have given online, and when you are logging on to most of these things. And when you're thinking about this business, when I'm talking about more about the businesses, there, you know, after the post lockdown, or the lockdown period and the post lockdown period, because when everything is unlocked or the lockdown is over, I'm sure most of us will not be feeling so safe to go out to the crowd or go out to any public places and all and interact how we used to do previously. So, of course, the most of the teachers have started, or rather they are doing, or from the, from LKG onwards to PG and the post graduation and even PhD and everything, your studies have become online now. And, because of that, the education technology is one area where you have witnessed a lot of change or a lot of technology upgradation. So that actually poses a very big business opportunity also. Big business opportunity for the business groups or the startups, as well as for people like us, the common person also. It's a wide opportunity because it's a widening of the spectrum of many of the universities, wherein you can probably, the universities can reach out to the people very far off through through other online platforms, and probably we are going to witness a huge, very big change in the educational sector. And for the startups and innovative minds, you have a very good opportunity over there in terms of creating more better technology platforms and your own ways of online education and all. Maybe you have a app more than Byju's or whatever. Okay. Another one is the telemedicine. We have been using apps like, or platforms like Practo and all, but now it is more common to use the telemedicine opportunities, because definitely we don't go to the hospitals unless it is very critical nowadays, and the same thing might continue after the lockdown also, probably, because still we have the hesitation to go into the public. So this telemedicine is another opportunity where you can make use of the people or the even the doctors who were denied the practice during this lockdown period because of the restrictions and all. One is that, and the people on the other side, all these things are a two-sided platform. You have on the other side the patients waiting for solving their issues. So when you have a very good approachable, very good platform, it's going to be a very good benefit for both the sides. In fact, e-commerce is one thing where you have the business which is not hit at all. Take it from me, most of the other businesses are severely affected, and especially the startups. They have no clue on how to go about. So e-commerce is one place where you don't have much of a problem as of now. But again, when you go ahead, when you go again further, when people have cash crunch and all, you don't know what is going to happen. But as such, e-commerce platforms are really good. Of course, we have been using the many e-commerce platform for many of our buying purposes. But this lockdown has shown us how to buy even groceries from using the e-commerce platform from the nearby shop. Okay. So it's all a different kind of experience that is given, or rather a totally different arena of opportunities that is thrown out for the innovative minds. And entertainment is another thing where you have the AR VR also to help you. Of course, the augmented reality and virtual reality can help in most of the other sectors, the e-commerce, whether it is e-commerce or whether it is educational technologies. So all these technologies are really going to be helpful in other sectors as well. So entertainment is another opportunity which we are deprived of as of now, because you cannot go to a theater, you cannot go for the movie, or you cannot go to the get together and all those kind of things. So as the previous speaker was telling, now you have all Zoom meeting among your friends. Okay, so apart from that, okay, you can see most of our kids especially have gone addicted to many online games. So that is another platform. When you're looking from the point of an entrepreneur or an innovator, you have another area of course, that area was that field was there till now, but the requirement in that field has become more in this situation. And artificial intelligence is one thing where you need it for almost every other sector, whether it is medicine, whether it is healthcare, whether it is some other manufacturing or whatever. So even for healthcare is where we have been using this AI in many of the COVID-related inventions, and you have a lot more to come from those areas. In fact, so there are so many good different sectors where I was just talking about the high technology sectors. but you have a lot more where we can think, look around and identify and think in those aspects. Now, for those who are in business, definitely this is a recession which has happened world over. Of course, the previous recessions were mostly contained to some of the regions or some of the countries like US or Europe or whatever. But for this recession, in one way, we are, you could be happy because this is not for you or not for your region or not for your clients because it's world over. So, the entire world, we can wait for the entire world to come out of that. Okay. But startups, as I told, it is severely hit. Most of the startups have lost more than 50% of their revenue, even to 80% of their revenue has been lost during this lockdown period. And you don't have the facility to go to the office and work also. But in this kind of a case, what do you do? For the startups or business or even for the normal people, cost cutting is the only way. Hold on to that and don't spend at all. So that is one thing which we have learned from this time, where you don't have much of revenue, but at the same time you have to keep the the salaries and all. You have to give at least the minimum salaries you got to give. Then most of the places where you have these kind of incubators and the parks and the techno parks and all those kind of things, they have gone for helping these entrepreneurs a little bit by giving those rent waivers, and even the government institutions, banks, and everybody, even for all of us, have the incubators and all have given the moratoriums for the loans taken by the business people. So these, when you are in the business, you got to make use of all those things. As Anu was telling, avail all the helps available. So that is what the mantra of COVID times. Okay, and again for the businesses, you have got the work from home challenges. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the bandwidth challenge. You don't really know when you are the business owner. When you're an employer, you don't really know how to actually make use of the time of the employee. Of course, all the employees are also people like us, ladies especially, having all these different roles to play at home. So the very difficult problem for the employee to manage their time and all reflects in their work also. So work from home is a real challenge to give them, unless we are very structured, we find it very difficult to manage a work from home. Of course, for the corporates, it's really easy because when TCS says in the next 5 years, it's going to be having all its 75% of people who are going to be working from home. When you have good project leaders for properly assigning the jobs to your employees, it's very good. But for the startups, when you yourself are an employee and try to bring in all around you together, it's very difficult. So you have those challenges, plus along with that, the technology related challenges of bandwidth, the equipments and the gadgets and all, that is there. Now, with all these things, whatever we can do is just to bring our business back with whatever help, whatever assistance is there available with us, around us. So this is a very difficult situation for the businesses. And definitely there is going to be fund cut from all corners. Even for the researchers among you, most of the government funds are going to be cut with, a budget cut will be there for most of the, government side funding. For us, NSTDB, DST has already announced a cut of around 20%. So for you, for the researchers, it's not going to be that easy to get a project funding by writing a proposal to any of these agencies, funding agencies. So we got to expect that. So basically for us, for that, how we can overcome that is to make our proposal the best. So whatever fund that they are giving away, we should be able to, somehow get it. Then definitely for the products, for the innovators and for the entrepreneurs among you, definitely the people, the product development that you've been doing before COVID times, probably that have become totally non-relevant to the market now or market after COVID. because of all these social distancing, or rather, as Anu was telling, physical distancing and restrictions and all. So probably you have to revisit your ideas and reimagine your go-to-market strategies. You will have to totally reorient your vision and your thinking process. And it is always better to, or rather, try to think in line of what is happening, what is the new scenario, how how this situation could be made use of, and maybe going in line with the scenario and trying to think about new ideas and new products. Of course, healthcare, as I previously said, using all those technologies, the demand of new era, whatever the technologies are, try to think of some product in that line, so that we can overcome, or rather we can bring in some new innovations in the market. Now again, for all these trying out some new ideas, also you have a lot of challenges that happened around us, a lot of competitions that we had around us. In fact, we had somebody was telling, in fact, we had more of ventilators developed than the COVID patients, in fact. Once upon a time, everybody was after ventilator, or even now it happens. We are trying to, many of our innovators around us are trying to develop ventilators and sanitizing and the sanitizing robots and all those kind of things, different forms of sanitizing machines and all. But of course, you don't know, even now you don't know how the situations are going to go, because it could be worsened, it could be better also. But still, of course, it is always, as they say, we have to be prepared for the worst. So even now, most of the COVID-related new inventions are welcome, and we have agencies or departments like DST, Early Innovation Mission, MeitY, Kerala Startup Mission, and all looking for different COVID-related inventions to commercialize and make use of, from the government side as well from the private side. And we have associations like TiE. In fact, today is last day for TiE's pitching for application for venture capital funding. We have people like them who are again looking for good ideas where they can connect you and the funders. Okay. So, and then we have incubators like ours, TBI of NIT, who are looking for new inventions apart from COVID also. Okay. Who, of course, depending on the market situations, looking for new innovations where you can bring in some new product ideas and then see how it can work out. Then we have the schemes like Prayas, then BIORAC, Department of Biotechnology related areas and all. So all these things can help us in making ourselves ready for the situation, meeting these challenges. Of course, the social entrepreneurship is another aspect. Probably they say that normally people say that women are more empathetic to society and empathetic to people. So probably we may be able to think in a better way in helping people around us. Okay? So yeah, actually, just to say as a last point, we still have this uncertainty, and we have our best way of going forward again is whatever time till this lockdown is going to continue, upgrade ourselves, upgrade with our the new technology that is available for us. There are a lot of online courses and online platforms which you can make use of, and you can upgrade yourself and think in these kind of innovative ways wherein you will be and creative ways wherein your background expertise and all intelligence and everything is put to use, and do something creative, do something useful, which is going to be useful for in your future life also, especially when you are thinking in the innovative and entrepreneurial direction. So this is not that you cannot, there is nobody is detaining you because you're a lady, because you have all the New Zealand Prime Minister, you can see the one country which was actually declared COVID-free 2 days back, but of course again 2 more cases reported afterwards. But still, you can see, or rather, it's a very interesting to notice that women-led teams or women-led countries or women-led places have done well in fighting with the COVID. So maybe we have more of energy to get from all those great leaders, and at the same time we have to be very keep ourselves healthy. As Anu was telling, good mind is always residing in, or will be there in a very healthy body. So we have to properly take care of ourselves, be active always, and definitely never overstretch yourself. We do have so many roles, but don't get overstretch yourself in these too many roles. That is why we have to take all the available supports, and sometimes we have to let things go. Okay, maybe your kids are not able to cope up with the, or rather you're not able to look too much into the kids studies. Okay, fine, we have time, we will be able to make it up all later on. But that's why we don't overstretch yourself, take care of yourself, and then upgrade yourself and be helpful to others. You have and maybe one way of being helpful to, I mean, others is helping others prevent themselves from getting infected. That is maybe your elder people at home, elderly people at home, and even the kids also. Take care of them, take care of yourself, and this is what some good things which we can do during this lockdown. And thank you very much for giving me a platform to talk to you about all these interesting things, and just to talk to this IEEE body. And thanks a lot to the IEEE and the wonderful introduction given by Madam. Thank you very much. And in case any questions or anything you have, or you want to contact me otherwise with your innovations or anything, you have my mail ID and mobile number on the screen. Thank you very much. Now over to the moderator.
Thank you, Madam. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. And this 1 hour we were hearing two eminent personalities on the topic of creative women of COVID time, and they have very explained how the way we can utilize the time available during this pandemic situation. What are the things to be measured during this time, and what are the things to be updated ourselves in this situation? In this situation. So it was very informative, as well as that is inspired all of us in a way. Each and every a little time also we can utilize in a very big manner, utilize it into a positive things we can maintain in our lifestyle, and all these things you have mentioned in your talk, and it was wonderful. And I'm sure about all the participants that have enjoyed the session, and I'm requesting all the participants, if you are having any queries or any doubts, any something to be discussed with the speakers, you can either write down into the chat box, or you can raise your queries in through this platform. And also I would like to inform you to all the participants that once the session over, that is, we will be providing a feedback link. Please submit your feedback through that link, then only you will be eligible for getting the certificate. So it is a mandatory. So all of you are requested to submit your feedback form. Again, if you are having any query, or into the chat box, that we can read it out, or you can raise it. You can raise your hand so that we will be unmute you for the query question.
So if you have any questions, you can ask now. Please raise your hand, and then you can put forward your question.
You are already posted with the feedback form already posted. Please fill it and submit it.
Okay, Taslima, I think we can wind up. You can
Okay,
give the
sir.
closing remarks.
Okay, sir. So that it is on behalf of this program committee and behalf of the entire participant side, we would like to give you a very good thanks to the both speakers for giving such a wonderful session for today. And that is that they were speaking about the how about they were speaking Dr. Anu was speaking about early how to manage or how to like things and how what are the situations we are handling, how to manage the situations and our madam Preeti madam was speaking about. She was speaking generally. She was speaking about how to utilize the things or how to utilize the timing. What are the things to be upgraded in that level? So we have all of us enjoyed it, and thank you so much on behalf of me and behalf of the participants for being with us. Back. We will be expecting your participation again
Taslima,
immediately.
uh,
Thank you so
Taslima,
much.
there is one
Yes.
question, it seems. There is one
Right.
question. Somebody has raised hand.
Yeah. We can
I think
unmute it,
Sonal.
sir.
Yeah, Sonal has a question. Sonal.
Please.
Sonal, you can ask your question. Unmute your mic and talk, please. Sonal. Liji Sandosh. Yeah,
Yeah, Sonal and Liji Santosh has, yeah,
raise
please.
their hands. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Hello,
Liji,
I'm
you can.
Liji.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Liji, and I would like to ask ma'am about one question that in this pandemic situation, how will this investment banks or any financial institutions will have trust on our startups, and will they provide us any finance to move ahead with any of the innovations? Because I myself have approached many, but they are not actually allowing us to move ahead. Talking about the financial crisis. Do you have any suggestions to this?
Yes, Ms. Liji, I think it's a question for me, I'm sure. See, this is, as you said, it is true. Most of the financial institutions will not give you, I mean, of course, they are also under terrible problem. So definitely there for the normal financial institutions, the problem is there. But I was talking about many schemes which the government and different agencies have come out with for funding the innovations. For example, we are just going to announce our Prayas scheme in another 1 week or so, where you can get up to 10 lakhs as grant for developing your innovations from that is idea to prototype stage. So there are similar kinds of funding which is already coming from these kind of incubators, and even this is for the smaller ones, okay? And even for the larger businesses, you can see there are people, there are organizations like Kerala Financial Corporation, KSIDC and all, some governmental agencies, which have already given loan to the people, wherein they've given an option of enhancing their loan to another 20% of what they have taken for without much of difficulties, like because if they can just submit enough documents that their business is affected with the COVID. Okay, so similar, as you know, the central government as well as the state government has given a lot of schemes in support of the MSMEs especially, and the other businesses as well. So there are different schemes in different the different sectors which will be helpful for you. Especially, I can surely say for the smaller innovators like you, for making your invention or innovation into a prototype stage, we do have enough schemes with the incubators in different parts of India, which can support you up to whatever money you need to. As a loan, they can support you up to 25 lakhs, or if it is a grant, they can support you up to 10 lakhs. So definitely be in touch with any of these people so that you can make use of the opportunity. Of course, this opportunity has been there previously also, but because of COVID, as of now, there is not much of change for this. So you can definitely make use of all these things. And definitely, as I said, for COVID, there were specific schemes announced already, as I said, with the KFC and KSIDC and all, but which is more useful for the existing business people who have already availed their schemes. Hope it is clear.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other?
Yeah, I think there are no more questions.
Okay, sir. Again, I'm requesting all to submit your feedback form to get the certificates. Now, sir, we can wind it up, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Anu. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, Dr. Sabik. Thank you, Dr. Taslima. So next week, again, on next Thursday also, we'll have a webinar from 5:30 to 6:30. Thank you all for joining. Hope it was a wonderful, it was useful to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.